Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next series of Mothers in Business interviews. I am so super excited today. We have a wonderful lady, a mompreneur called Jennifer Sievers, who's coming all the way from Germany. She's an amazing mom of two beautiful children and also a very successful entrepreneur. And I'm so blessed to have her on our show today. Hello, Jennifer, how are you?
Hello, Linda. Thanks for having me. I'm totally fine, enjoying fall in Hamburg.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, fall is a beautiful season, isn't it? It's a season of change and new beginnings, which I absolutely love. And so it's a great honor to have you today. But before we start going into our quick fire questions, could you just tell us a little bit about what it is that you do?
Yes, certainly. Um, I've been working in big business for nearly 25 years, and then there was a big change in my life because my brother got sick, really severe sick. He got colon cancer, and it took him 2 years to really leave this planet, and it was a hard time for us as a family. Like to stay at his side, and I really felt that I needed a change after that, after he had left. So I quit my corporate job and went for what I always have loved, helping people and bringing people into balance. And I do this from two sides. One as an energetics, where I help people working on karmic issues they might have, and on the other hand, I'm working with molecules that help people and animals balance their immune system into really getting a total balance and changing their lives with that. And I have, as you already said, two beautiful children, two boys, and I'm splitting my time with them as well because, as you know, they grow so fast and really soon might not longer need us.
Yes. And how old are they?
They are nearly 12 and 15.
Right, okay. So they're in high school.
They're in high school, yes, sixth and ninth grade.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that introduction. And, I remember myself when I was a younger mother and when my children were like, just two or three, and you think, oh, can't wait for them to grow up, can't wait for them to go to school. You think that the challenges are going to get easier, but they're just different. Do you find the same?
Definitely, they are definitely different, and this is what I think they still will need us when they're grown ups, and they will come with different challenges, trouble with their girlfriends, trouble with their spouses, and as a mom, you will always be there and be at their side and try to make life easier for them. So yes, you're totally right. Things just shift. And also for you being as a mom and an entrepreneur, it just shifts how you accompany them and how you work your life around the challenges of family and being in business.
Yeah, beautiful. And thank you. And that leads me so nicely into my next question, or my first question, my first quick fire question. So as an entrepreneur and a mum, what would you say has been the biggest challenge of dealing with motherhood and business at the same time?
Most of all, the biggest challenge I think was really getting over the prejudices my surroundings had. My parents, I still have parents, and they said, oh, why are you quitting your corporate job? You're a mom, you have to stay with your children, take care of your children, and there's more safety in working the corporate job. And no, there isn't. There is no safety nowadays in living a corporate job. It's not normal nowadays that people stay like I did 20-25 years with one and the same company. The younger people change a lot. And actually, I find it way easier being an entrepreneur and having children because I can really put my schedule around their needs. For me as a mom, has been always really important that we take a lot of meals together. Really, this is the time of the day where we sit together. And school is really close by, and we don't have a full day school here in Germany. So sometimes, some days the kids will come home for lunch even, and then we really sit down, and I take the time to listen what they have to say to me. And I really, I really precious this time. I really enjoy it. And this is only possible when you're able to work in the evenings or work on the weekend, when you are the boss of your own calendar. And this is what I really love about it. And but getting rid of those ideas people have in mind when they think you're an entrepreneur, you're a business mom, what this really means. They are all in those old boys thinking you have to work from 9 till 5, and oh God, you can't work in the evenings, you're working so much. No, I'm not. I'm just putting my time and my work into the places in the day where it fits me the best. And this is really what I love. But getting over it and getting distracted from other people telling me what's wrong or right, that was probably the hardest thing I experienced.
Yeah, and so many great nuggets there. And I was just making notes as you were talking. So the biggest challenge for you, as you say, is the prejudices of other people that don't understand your entrepreneurial journey, or don't want to be sort of open-minded to think about the possibilities. And I think for many women watching this, that is quite a common problem. I certainly know when my background is in property, and I was very, very limited in terms of the people that I told that I was in property, because I did it at the same time as working in a corporate world. And when I left my corporate job after being in it for 10 years, all I got was from the people, from my work colleagues, oh, that's so risky. How can you do that? Oh my goodness, you're going to lose so much money. And And thank goodness I didn't mention it to them earlier, because they would have just like distracted me from achieving my goals. So I totally resonate with what you say there. And it's so beautiful, when you say you can be the boss of your own calendar. Because when you're in the corporate world, it's great to have a corporate job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you do have that flexibility as an entrepreneur to be the boss of your own calendar. And if you choose to work in an evening, or you choose to work on a weekend, that's your choice. It's not your boss telling you have to go in, and you're going in disgruntled. You're doing it because you're making a difference. You're doing it because it's something that you love. It's your passion. You're helping people as opposed to helping an organization achieve their goals. And I love what you say about, the fact that you have that flexibility for your children if they want to come home, and you have that extra conversation with them, come home for lunch, and you have those extra conversations, and you have those conversations at dinner, which is lovely, because you can, tailor your time around them. So thank you for sharing that. That's absolutely beautiful. Was there anything in particular that you did to try and get over those prejudices, or was it a case of just ignoring it and blocking it out and just being focused on what you wanted to achieve?
A little bit of both, I think. I always believe that we meet people for a reason. So I was drawn into meeting you for a reason. People who watch the video for a reason, to learn. It's all, we are on this planet to learn, to grow, and so a lot of it, but that's me. Huh? A lot of it I make up on my own. I work constantly on getting better, becoming a better self.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of meditation. I started to go out in nature on a regular basis, just to focus, and also to let go. Not only focus, but also let go. Huh? It's important to have a clear structure. I feel, especially with children, and even with children, but especially with children. But it's also important to stay liquid, because if you try to really stuck to your plans, life with children, they screw over your plans a lot. So stay liquid on that one. So I worked on myself, but I also from times to times to blocked out what other people said, and it helped me grow even more. as I already said, on my own, I still have a mom and I have a dad. I really experienced in that becoming an entrepreneur, that I had to let go of that being that child. I really caught myself thinking, no, I'm over 40 years old. I, for myself, know what is good for me and what is good for my children. And okay, mom, dad, I value your own opinion, but it's your opinion, and please leave it there. I mean, so often people step in giving you advice without being asked for it. So, and this is something I think we shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Always ask people, please, are you interested in getting my advice, my opinion on that matter? But a lot of people step into it and therefore cross borders. They get in your energetic field even without you having asked for it. And yeah, so it's a constant journey. I'm still on a journey and trying to figure out like how it's the best way of working around it. Yeah, once I ask myself, how successful do I have to be really to feel safe and comfortable? But success and also the amount of money you are making, I think this is really important for people getting started. It only gives you a false feeling of security because there is no security, never. It all has to be within yourself and come from the inside. Because working a corporate job, the company can go bankrupt the next day without you knowing it before. So does it give you more security living the corporate job than being an entrepreneur? No, not really. It's all in the mind.
Yes.
Once you feel like really from the heart that you're in the right position and in the right job, it doesn't matter if you're living the corporate job or being an entrepreneur. Because this is when you feel settled and when you really feel the safety coming out of yourself. Your surrounding can't give you security. It can only come from your inside.
Yeah, thank you for that. And so what I'm hearing from what you've just said is that there's a lot of bravery and courage that is required to break that cycle. So for example, you know, your parents in their generation, it perhaps would have been more familiar for people to, you know, go to work on a 9-to-5 job and be at home or just stay at home and, you know, with the children. And what you're doing now is creating a new generation of saying, well, no, I have a choice. I have a choice to go in the corporate world, or I have a choice to be an entrepreneur and, you know, to do good and to help as many people as I possibly can with my skills, knowledge, and experience. But what you're also doing is you're being very, very inspirational to your children, to your 2 sons, because you know, they can then see what their grandparents' sort of view is, they can see what your view is, and they can make their own minds up. And it might be something completely different to the both of you, but they can see that you've started off by allowing yourself to have that choice. And, you know, I always say, you know, mothers are creating leaders of the future, but in order for them to create leaders, they have to be leaders themselves. So by you having that courage and bravery to step out of the norm of your family sort of makeup, that shows a lot of courage and bravery. So well done for that. And that's a great lesson for your children to observe. They may not necessarily see it now, but as they grow older and they get more and more life experiences, they'll remember, oh yeah, mum used to do this or mum used to do that. So that's fantastic.
Actually, they are already seeing it now because I got divorced when my youngest one was 2. So I have been raising them on my own. And I always told them, okay, look, there's a way A that your father is going or living. And there's a way B that I'm living. And then you 2 can decide if you're going for your own way A, way B, or if it's going to be a mixture of both and you choose your own. So this is something, where we can lead by example for our children, but also I really feel the importance of showing them that there are so many possibilities and keep their view like really wide and not narrow.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I also, from what you were saying earlier on in response to that question, I also heard an element of self-care as well. You talked about, walking in nature and just focusing and doing meditations and things like that. So clearly, as a mother, there are times when we feel overwhelmed because, there's just so much going on. And there are times when we feel guilty as well, in terms of mum guilt. So tell us about how you do you have any specific, coping strategies for coping with overwhelm or mum guilt?
The point for me where I really started to put myself first was not with regards to my children, but with regards to my brother. When he was dying, people expected me to be at his side every day. And I was raising my two children alone. I was in a corporate job then, and I could not just be there every day in the hospital taking care of him. And this was the moment where I learned that I have to put myself first. I have always to put myself first. And especially for us as moms, we really feel guilty or often feel guilty if we put ourselves first. But I then recognized for myself, if I don't put myself first, I cannot take such a good care of the others. So it needs for me to be balanced, to be happy, to be a good partner or a good mom. And this is really when I woke up and said, okay, I'm not altruistic anymore. I'm gonna put myself in first place. And after that, I have to go and take a look at the others. And over the time, I learned that it takes sports, it takes a little bit of meditation, it takes nature for me, and it also takes good nutrition, good meals. That is really important for me as well. So you need to find a balance on all levels, so that you take care, also that you grow on a personal basis. There's so much that helps. I totally understand when I moved into my house where I'm living now with my children. Here, the youngest one, he was 2, and it is difficult for moms with younger children to really find the time for themselves. But I have a Chinese doctor, and he once told me, even if it's just the 5 minutes of you sitting on the toilet, just close your eyes and try not to think of anything. Just take those 5 minutes a day or twice a day to take time for yourself. And nowadays I'm definitely more relaxed, taking more time and having more time because the children grew up. And but there's one thing we might want to share it underneath in the links when you publish the video. I do a gratitude meditation every morning. It takes 9 minutes. I have a really nice musician as a friend, and he has made this gratitude meditation with a healer together, and it really grounds me, and it helps me to find out what is really important, and it gives you a good start into the day. So this is how I feel, or getting balanced.
Oh, that's lovely. And how exciting you're going to share the link with us for that. That's beautiful. I'm sure that will help a lot of people. And I'll certainly try that out myself. Awesome. And so the transition from corporates to the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah.
Did you have any sort of moments of mum guilt, thinking, am I doing the right thing? Am I going to be spending too much time on my business and not enough time with my children, particularly as being a single mum? And if you did, how did you cope with that?
Actually, I didn't, because when I stepped out of the corporate world, that was a time where my older one was experiencing trouble with his father, and he did not want to spend the summer vacation with him. And being an entrepreneur, I was able to say, okay, it's okay to have the children 6 weeks home during summertime. Being in a corporate world, I would never have been able to take care and work my business work around the children. So it gave me a lot more possibilities, and as a family, more possibilities of spending time together and creating a good environment in our daily lives. And what really helped me cope with kind of mom guilt is that I always ask for the buy-in of my children when I know that there are harder times coming off. If I have a challenge with work, then I tell them in advance and I say, okay, this is what's coming up the next week, the next 2 weeks, and I have to work more than usual. Is it okay for you? Are you willing to help during this time? And this really helped us because they really are aware that there are differences in the daily life, and also they are aware that moms leveraging a lot of different workloads, and they started making me meals when I had like Zooms last late at night. The older one would come in and say, okay mom, what do you want to eat? And they would prepare my dinner, and so I really got them bought in, and I think this is something I really would love to share with the moms. Get your children or your spouse really to buy into the work you're doing. You can't do it on your own. You can't fight on all levels. You need some understanding from the people around you. You can't do it all on your own. And when we moved in here, I put the dishes in a height where the children can reach it. Everybody looked like, why do you have your dishes in a drawer? And I said, look, those children will need so long that they grow up tall enough to reach the cupboards that are really high on the wall. And until then, I would be the one who would have to lay the table every night or every day 3 times. And that's not on me. And I also tell them, okay, dirty dishes don't fly into the dishwasher. They have to be carried and put in there. So see where you really can get your children, get your family to buy into what you're doing. And they also feel precious if they really are able to help. It helps them grow as well. I always tell my boys how much girls will like that they are able to cook and that they're able to clean their own stuff.
Yes,
so it helps them grow, and it helps you as a mom entrepreneur that you really prepare your children. Don't feel the guilt side, feel the possibilities also for the children.
Wow, I love that. You've just shared so much, and so many golden nuggets that people watching this can take away and share. The draw situation in terms of getting them to help you and putting it at a level for them, that is just complete gold. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's beautiful. Wonderful. Okay, so just moving on to my final question. For any mums that are watching this that perhaps are maybe on maternity leave, or they're in a corporate job and they want to leave, they've got this burning desire to leave, they're not too sure what they want to do, they might be scared to step out of their comfort zone, to actually leave what they believe is a secure job, and they want to start a new business, but they feel that I've got my children, how can I, perhaps I'll wait till they're at uni, or I'll wait till they've left home. How am I going to cope with it all? Should I really take that step now, or should I wait? What would you advise them?
Difficult. No, not difficult at all. I have my master's in business administration, so I'm really kind of a brain person in it's one part of me, but being an entrepreneur, I learned to listen more and more what my heart says. So if you're not feeling comfortable from the bottom of your heart or your belly or whatever, you have the feeling, not your mind, keep your head totally off it. Ask what your heart says, or what your heart is telling you. And there are so many possibilities where you can start your business from the side. It's just it needs you to be consistent. You cannot start a new business or a new job without being consistent. You really need yourself to buy into the new way or the new path you're going. If you don't have this buy-in from yourself and you say, okay, maybe I give it a try, maybe I don't give it a try. Linda, you know, we both have this friend who really showed us pictures of herself being a bodybuilder, and I asked her, how many hours do you spend at the gym? And she said, it's not the hours that you spend, it's the contingency that you do, and that's the same with being an entrepreneur. It's putting a little bit of time into what you love to do every day, and then I would never ever, if you don't have the financial abilities, tell somebody to totally quit the corporate job if they have like kids that they have to support. I would always say, okay, maybe see if you can like work less hours in your corporate job, and then therefore start on the side your other business. And it really needs a business plan, so don't rush into something without any security. I would never ever tell anybody that. When I have people working with me in my team and they say, okay, that sounds nice and I want to get like residual income whatsoever, and I'm going to quit my corporate job, and I'll say, okay, please wait, because there are always highs and lows, and you have to be sure that you can balance the lows and that you are set up for that. Maybe like my advice would be start like on a level that feels comfortable for yourself. If you feel discomfort with any situation, then look deeper and ask what your heart tells you.
Yes, very, very sound advice. I love that. I've loved listening to you, Jennifer. I could listen to you all day. You've got so many golden nuggets and mic drop moments. It's just amazing. And so before we finish off, let me just summarize a couple of the key things that I picked out from this interview. So in terms of, you know, when you're coming up against people's prejudices about you being a mum in business, it's really important to try and block that out, find ways of blocking that out so that you can focus on what you want to do. It's also important to have special family time, having meals together with your family, having self-care for yourself, and using things like meditation, good nutrition, and also walks in nature. Being a mum in business also enables you to be a boss of your own calendar. So you can pick and choose when you do things. You can move things around from day to day or over to the weekends. As a mum, it's important to put yourself first, as you can't take care of others if you don't put yourself first. And take 5 minutes, something that you learned as well, just even if you take 5 minutes a day just to sit on the toilet with the door locked, just to have those 5 minutes for yourself to regroup is really, really important.
And one thing I missed, Linda, is reward yourself. If you have like times that are really, whether your calendar is really packed and you also get the buy-in from your family, that you say, okay, it's going to last for another 2 weeks, that I really have to concentrate on something, then after that, reward yourself or reward your family. It can be that you just sit down and watch a movie, that you take the children to the cinema, that you buy yourself some flowers. We are always buying stuff for somebody else, but why not go to the market and get yourself a nice bunch of flowers? Just do something for yourself, reward yourself from time to time.
Yes, yeah, and it doesn't have to be expensive, does it? It could be like a nice bubble bath, you know, a nice relaxing bubble bath, an extra 5 minutes in bed under the duvet. You know, that could be a reward for you, because they're all valuable things to us as mums. So thank you for that. And then when you were talking about mum guilt, you were saying, you know, be you know, talk to your children, be open with them, get their buy-in, you know, get the kids you got the kids starting they were cooking for you, which was absolutely lovely. And for those ladies that are not quite sure what they want to do, if they want to step out of their comfort zone and start a new business, listen to your heart, you were saying, make sure that you feel that it's the right thing for you. And if you do start, make sure that you're being consistent, and that you buy into your new path and don't rush into anything without having that level of security. So obviously, you know, it may not necessarily be your own finance, it might be other people's finances, but it can, you know, look at other options as well of getting support and not trying to do things all on your own.
No, definitely. And one thing I already mentioned, that I'm a fan of meditation. When you want to listen to your heart, maybe just one more advice. There's a really nice way to doing a writing meditation so that you can listen to your heart, because often our head is so loud that we don't really can listen to our heart. So if you just sit down in front of 2 or 3 pieces of white paper and write down everything without overthinking, just what is in your mind until there isn't anything left in your mind. This is when you will be able to listen to your heart, because then everything's in your head that's gone. You don't have to look on what you have written down, but just like clear your head.
Yes. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And like I said earlier, we are looking forward to getting that link so that we can add it to this video as well, and any other sort of contact details that you have for yourself, and any social media links that people can get in contact with you if they want to find out more about what you do and about the wonderful work that you're doing to help other people around the world. So on that note, thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you for your time today. It's been awesome speaking to you. Love everything that you shared, all the magical moments, and how you managed to juggle motherhood and business. Thank you
so much, Linda, for having me.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you.
And mothers will make the difference in the world. That's one thing I really believe.
Yes, I totally take.
Because we are raising the future leaders.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you.